Hello and welcome to another session of GitPython maintenance. It's Byron speaking, and we are looking at the fabulous issue 335. Git add doesn't seem to work on submodules. It seems that index add doesn't work with submodules. Found exactly the same issue and question on Stack Overflow. Let's go there real quick. Okay. I've been at this for a few hours. Sorry for that time. That probably is lost forever. I actually mean it. I've done the same way too many times. And although I have a feeling I'm close, I can't seem to figure this out. I'm trying to make a script that takes a Git repository, updates a submodule in that repository to a specified version, and commits that change. What works? I can find the repository, get the submodule, and check out the commit I want. What doesn't work? I can't seem to add the updated submodule hash, so I can commit it. My code, okay, submodule name, git checkout, wanted commit, okay, and then the hash changes of the submodule, and then this is supposed to be added. At this point I can see the submodule change. If I check source tree, I can't see the change submodule in the unstaged file. The thing is, I have no clue how to stage the change, so I can't commit it. But I've tried. If I commit using repos or repository index commit, it creates an empty commit. Okay, because it really just commits the index, you have to add something before. If I try to add the path of the submodule using repos index add submodule path, all the files in the submodule are added to the repository, which is definitely not what I want. I think that is a bug. It should be smart enough to realize that, but it's not. It totally is not. If I try to add the submodule itself, it should be possible according to the docs. Using repository index add, nothing seems to happen. Yeah. So that all sounds like a bug. Let's go back to, and yeah, I'm already afraid of it. It's 10:15, so yeah, let's say I have time till midnight to have fun with Python and with submodules. So reproduction, first some shell. Let's do this. Let's do some shell stuff. Okay, so we start initializing a new repository. Let's do this here. Voila. I like this. By the way, I kind of brushed over this real quick. This is a great issue just because it helps you to reproduce, to get to the state that is required to reproduce the issue. I could do this myself, of course, but it takes longer than just pasting stuff here and you're done. So now I have a good test case that I can use to test stuff out in Python. So let's see, to use my local GitPython version. I don't have it installed in the system for good reasons. Python path is this. And now I should be able to do this. But usually that doesn't work, but I shall see, right? Import git. Yeah, it actually does work. Of course it does. Why would it not? There we go. I'm not sure about this. This might be a little issue because we only have master repo. This repo, is it used elsewhere? No. Yeah, I think I will just correct this real quick. So that is not this repo anymore, it's master repo, and that should be fine. So that's also cool, expected versus result. You know, I might actually use or do this as well in future. I had the tendency to allow to add some headline like how to reproduce, but I didn't do this really, not that explicitly. But I did the system info, meta I called it. So yeah, I think I learned something today. That's good. I like it. Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kgejek or Conrad. I think Conrad I can deal with. Thank you, Conrad. So Git version, that's also great. By the way, many people forget to tell which version they used, even though here it's unclear which Git version was used, but at least it's Python 3. Probably doesn't matter. Git version 2.4 also doesn't matter, I think. The Git version or GitPython version used, well, probably also doesn't matter, just because I believe this is most certainly a real bug. Okay, so now I should be able to do this. Just paste a few lines here. Nice. And well, it didn't look too bad, did it? Well, it didn't look too bad. There is the subrepo. How could you stage, huh? Like this, you can add stuff. Okay, so we have 7AB, blah, blah, blah. I think that was there before, was it? Because in the subrepo, we now have a new commit that we would love to add. So yes, I can reproduce the issue. Awesome. So that's a starting point. So now I can try my luck here. So yes, the add does nothing because probably, yeah, actually I'm not sure why. I don't think I have submodule handling in there, but I guess that's something we have to investigate now, right? So index base add is a monster of a method. So is submodule blob or submodule object? Look, blobs are added as they're assuming a valid mode is set. The file they refer to may or may not exist in the file system. If there shows submodule, more info. Oh, come on, Sebastian, aka Byron. He did not document the submodule object thing. Let me think hard. A blob or submodule object. What did I mean? You know, now I would love to have this documentation that obviously is not there. Okay, so that's the one thing. Then, you know, I kind of think that the unit tests coverage is rather high, like 90%. Let's see, actually, GitPython. Oh yeah, I'm here. Let's see what the coverage is here. It's relatively high, so chances are coverage unknown. Awesome, thank you very much. We can't find that page. Oh yes, I think I have removed coverage. Because coveralls was always kind of preventing me from merging from my phone, which is something I'd love to do from time to time, especially if the CI works. But coveralls never went green for some reason, or it took ages, so I had to remove it. But I guess that's the first thing I should do. Oh god. My computer is freaking out because it's compiling in the background. So it's really slow. Also, I am recording, which actually doesn't use that much power because it runs on the GPU. Still, coveralls, let's quickly remove it. There we go. But that is unrelated, right? I'm kind of mixing orthogonal concepts here. I'm fixing something that I found. And at least I shall... Oh, come on. It's creeping out again. At least I shall make a... Oh, what the heck? Yeah, you can. See, I'm upgrading stuff and I shouldn't do that much in the background, especially if it's compiling on all my cores. So, status, I want it. Yes, let's try that. It's again unrelated. So docs readme, remove coveralls link. It's already typed. And I can watch character by character appearing here. That's quite funny. In a sad way. Yeah. Removed coveralls link, right? So that actually I want to amend the commit and also say coveralls was disabled. a while ago because it would prevent merging PRs from the phone. So that is that. Good. So back to the test cases, right? That was the original idea. Tests. Index add. Test add or test index. Sorry. Test index might add a submodule. Write all trees and compare them. It's important to have a few submodules in there too. Okay, so that's the only thing. We don't seem to add submodules. There are submodule tests as well, which appear to be in test submodule. So let's see if we do an index add at some point. We can add submodules using submodule add here somehow. And that might give us a clue on how to do this using the index directly. I'm also not sure about the API. It is possible to add a new submodule path to repo URL, which might do the right thing if it already exists. That's the whole idea. So yeah, so we could get the root module somehow. Where is this root module? How do we get that? Yeah, I think it's used here somewhere, root module. I also didn't like this whole architecture with the root module, which kind of is it's an adapter to the repository, providing some submodule-ish interface. So that is how that works. So it basically treats the root or the parent module or the parent repository as a submodule of the root of the submodules, and that always was seemed a bit tricky when implementing this. Anyway, so you can create submodule. It's probably something you don't want to call, even though add is able to deal with this, but that would look funny if you would do it like that. But this is something we can try. Anyway, so that documentation sucks, that's for sure. Yet I'm confident that this will work. The thing is, you can always manufacture your own base index entry, and this will totally work then. It's a bit difficult to do that, but we might find the code here in test submodule. And now my computer is once again freaking out, and just for the purpose of this video, I might just put this to the background to get my CPU back. There we go. Thank you very much. So the base index entry is basically what the index data structure contains when it was read into memory. And if you change this, then obviously you get what you wanted. Add. If you add a submodule, we can try that again. Nope, here it is. So the sub repo SM, that's a submodule item. And yeah, I think add I don't even know what it does if it gets such a submodule. Let's see what it does. Maybe I can just add something that makes it deal with that. Where is it? Entries for path, that's the one. So you get a path, which actually can be an object as well. So multiple different kinds of inputs are allowed here. And then it creates one of these base index entries for you. And so if we have a path rewriter, do stuff. Otherwise, expand the path. How do I even... convert them. I mean, where does it check if it's a path or not? Here it treats them as path, even though it might also be an object, right? So par items, right? Items can be this and that. So I convert, here it is. Sorry, I didn't see that. It's pre-process. So if it's in an instance of this, or if it's a submodule, base index entry from blob. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so I see what happens here. This actually works, but it is not, you know, the commit of the submodule needs to change to the one that you want to use. Yeah, so I think obviously the most simple way to do, or the simplest way to do this is to do a master, you just use the git command, right? So git add, and yeah, well, that is interesting. Yeah, see, so now it's added, and now this will actually work. So now you can just, yeah. So I think that's the first thing we can do. Thanks for the awesome issue. I wished all of them would be made as thoroughly. Would be made that thoroughly, maybe. Even though I am working on figuring out the GitPython way. One should always be able to use Git directly, such as in, so now we can just actually copy this line that I just had here. Which will add the submodule correctly. Now one will be able to well, commit the staged changes. Well, that is that. I shall keep you posted. There we go. Cool. And well, where were we? So that doesn't work. I'm thinking that we should be able to change the commit here from blob item. So let's see what this one does, where it reads the commit. Somewhere it does that from blob. Blob mode, blob binsha. Okay, so the binsha index entry, base index entry, this is the one we are looking at, right? Yes, so it's a base index entry and it reads the bin char. So we want to somehow override the bin char, and I believe, oops, in the submodule base bin char we can probably do this if we type that correctly. Okay, that's just part of the, it gets initialized that with, it's just a cache basically. We read this at some point and then we cache it there. So in order to do this, we would have to read the head. I think this is what we would want to do here. So if it's an instance of a blob, we do this. And yeah, I don't want to necessarily change this submodule instance here. I would rather want to clone that or something, or set it back maybe. Yeah, maybe I just set it. I just set it back. What about that? Okay. So yeah, I shall just have my own branch here. elif is instance item submodule. And what I'm doing now is bad practice, right? Because I don't even have a test case. So the first thing I'm going to do is to implement it because I think it's relatively trivial. And then I'm going to add a test case that verifies that. And of course that's a bad thing because I should add a test case now. That should be red and then I fix it, right? But I'm always kind of lazy when it comes to setting up test cases and stuff. Especially when it's a more complex scenario. I probably have this scenario somewhere in test submodule, which is a huge pile of steaming excrements. Just not because, it's more like integration tests here. They're very complex. There's lots of state that is changed because it takes a long time to set this up, and it's kind of easiest to just go along. This is okay if you're writing it, but it's super difficult to figure out what to do when you have to change it or fix it even, when you're refactoring stuff. Anyway, so I've been through this already, and yeah, we might find some, probably I will just add some stuff here that allows me to do this. So we have a submodule here that we add, and then look, we move stuff, and then things happen, some Git file test, and now I think, maybe this one, test rename, because now we have a submodule here. Is there a shorter one? Test add empty repo. That could be something. And of course, let's try that. So that should still fail. I will just use this, when I talk about this and say how wrong I am, if I know that I'm wrong with my workflow, then I should probably not be that lazy and just, do it. So let's test add empty repo, and add submodule with new commit. So that's probably more descriptive here. We add 2 empty ones with different checkout modes. That's okay. And probably I should just, I don't care. Let's just add a new file here and make a commit. So with create submodule name. So at name, there should be something, right? Parent path. Path join parent apps path. I don't know if that even exists, but I will try. Also, I will run this. In the meanwhile, nose tests 2.7, it's git test and test submodule m, I think it is, but not capital, just lowercase m. That should run it. No, it didn't actually. Damn it, I always forget this. Is it I? No, it's not I. That takes too long. Why do I always forget how to exclude that kind of stuff? Oh, I didn't save it. This is why it didn't work. So now I've got invalid syntax, which is good. With, of course, with open. So we join the path here. That's empty. Okay, that's the name actually, which is also the SM path. Oh, actually that fails. Shit, so I can't use it. Forget that. Okay, I shall undo that and let's try something else. Test git submodule. Oh look, here it adds this one and it actually works. So that's test git submodules and add new commit. So that's probably an add SM with new commit. That's probably more like it here. All right, and again, I forgot to save. Yeah, okay, cool. So now we move stuff around, and I don't care. I should just be able to open a new file here. So with open sm2 or sm2, I don't care. sm2 should be fine, or sm should be fine as well. So it's os path join. It should have a module, which is the repository, and this will have an apps path, right? I want to write this thing, and then we just do nothing. It's like a touch. Hey, what's up? Why does that not work? I just did it. Actually, that's, this line I learned from here. So here it works as well. What the heck? Maybe, oh yeah, that's the join kind of didn't work out. Because I, after all, want to join a new path here. What the? Oh yeah, comma is missing, and now we are there. Good. It's an empty file. Neato. That should be okay. Then I can add the empty file. FP. I obviously need to change it. Save it. There we go. Cool, so now I can add it to the submodule. Module. Yeah. I can, whichever. Let's use just git add fp, and then maybe smm submodule is sm module, so now I don't have to repeat it all the time. I don't care about the performance of this. It's really just about the conciseness of the code. So smm git add should be fine, and then smm git commit. And I could just do this right away, right? Like with, oh no, I have to edit. I can also commit with add untracked. I don't know. Let's just be explicit here. So n is new file, edit. So now we have the new commit, and now we can actually verify or make the test red, right? Because now let's just add this submodule. So where is the parent? Index add submodule. It should figure that one out. And parent index commit. A thing is that actually we can verify it right away, because we will get, where is it? We will get an object here that has a bin char that should be matching. Should be matching the head of the submodule, right? And this is something we can verify without the commit, because if the thing is added to the index, it will be committed and it will work. We shall just commit it for fun, but the actual tests can really be done here anyway. So let's see. So assert that parent head commit. I can also do parent commit, I think. Let's be explicit. Let's say parent head commit bin char. Oh no, actually that's wrong. Parent head commit tree sm path, right? I want to access the object at the tree here. So that's a submodule object now, which is different from the submodule. I don't know if it's different from the submodule object that I return. I don't think so. Path bin char should be, yeah, so let's keep this. So when we add stuff, added index entries, BIEs, edit base index entries. So we can assert that the length of these guys should be 1. And yeah, let's do this separately. And now we can assert that edit bees that our edit bees bin char. Actually, we can do this now here. So that should be the bin char of the edit ones. That should be equivalent. Because we added the submodule at the given commit. Even though I'm not sure if this is the, if you add a submodule, I think I might be on the wrong track here, because the submodule, yeah, we might want to do this differently. I think that code is actually all right. Let's not do this. Instead, I think it's more about how to do it. So yes, you have to change the bin char to what you want to do. And I think the way this works is, yeah, the thing is, how should this work? The submodule that you have there is edit, like as is, right? And this really is what it is about. So I would actually go ahead and say, well, have to update the submodule to which now points to the latest commit. Or wait, to point to the latest commit. We have a cache which is out of date. So either we update the cache or we retrieve a new object. Is there something that allows me to update this? Probably not. I would be relatively surprised. Update, but that's not the thing. That's not what we want. Set parent commit, whose tree is supposed to contain the Git module. So that's also not it. No. I don't think there's an up. So we could just override the bin char. We could also just get it, or get a new item, or get a new submodule. So how do I get a new submodule? Submodules 0, right? So yeah, let's verify that the cache is out of date. SM updated is this one. Assert SM updated. Bin char isn't equal to SM bin char, right? That should be it. Yeah, so the submodules are just normal objects like the blob is, even though they can do much more. Good. So here, this should vary because bin char cached submodule should not point to the same commit as updated one. There we go. It even fits the line. That's pretty awesome. Cool. So that should be that. Now we add the updated one, which brings us 1. Then we commit the parent, and then we have a change. Then we commit it, and then we just access the bin char of the submodule directly. Yeah, what we could also verify here is that that's actually quite interesting. I don't know what that will do. We will find out. What also should be happening is that when we retrieve this object directly, then this should still be the same as sm_bin_char, like so. Yeah, something like this. So let's do this first, because that didn't change yet, right? Yeah, let's see how far we get here. Repo object has no attribute apps path. Thank you very much. But that should be the least of my problems. What do we have? Git dir, working tree, working dir. That's the one. That's the one I mean. Working dir. And that's usually suitable for use. Working dir. Working. Is there a working tree dir? Yes, that's the one I want. Good. Working tree dir empty file. So let's see how far we get. A bit further. Blob or tree name module moved was not found. Good or bad. How do I do this? I think that's this access here, huh? It's in 697. Yeah, that's the one. So the SM path is totally not what I... Oh yeah, well, it's in the index only. Haha. It's not yet, you know, these changes have not been committed yet. So we move stuff and now we have to commit the parent. Parent index commit. And then moved submodules. And now this will be written into the tree, and now it should find them at the given spot. Yes, it's getting further. So it's 700 now. And things are not as expected, but it's okay. So the updated one is not actually updated, even though there's a commit. So I guess we can look into that, which is this one. Yeah, let's just get another temp 2. And here we can just, what the heck? Oh yeah, here. So now something is happening. Cool, so we moved the module, then we added a file, committed this one, new file added. Yes, there it is. So that's totally as we would have expected it, even though we didn't get an updated version of this module here. Why? I think because, yeah, probably I just have the wrong train of thinking here. Yes, because this submodule, this is obviously not retrieved from the working tree, but from the just give me a moment here, my brain doesn't want to work. It's not brought to you from the working tree, but from the tree that the current commit points to. And this one still points to the old one, right? So the only way to get the new commit here is by actually using the submodules repository directly. And yeah, that's quite interesting. So now again, I would want to have I have to modify my submodule path or get a new one of that kind. And I don't know how to do this nicely. Do I do this already? Is there some assignment to bin_char? Here, something happens here. Add. Cool. So here new bin_char is created. Return repo head commit tree path. We retrieve submodule from tree. Yeah, something like that. So I already do this magic. I already do all of that. But that's still not good enough. That's an interesting one. Nice. I mean, I know how to do this. I just don't really want to just change the bin char myself, even though that I believe is what I would have to do. Yeah. Okay. So let's just rebrand this and say submodules are retrieved. Let's make it into something that is useful. Retrieved from the current commit. On the current commits tree. Therefore, we can't really get a new submodule object pointing to the new submodule commit. So that is actually the same. Should point to the same commit as updated one. So that is now the thing. The updated, yeah, so now so that's a new instance now, right? Let's call it, well, I don't want to call it clone, but SMM2, let's call it like this. So now we can change this, right? So now we can basically verify that this would do nothing, right? Or we verify, yeah. So if we add SM, we can verify the current behavior and say that this is the same. Index add, then we commit that thing, and then the new commit, yeah, same submodule entry. So now we commit this. If we pull it again, it will exactly be what we have added. Yes. So that should now work. It just verifies that it is what we have right now. So nothing new, but it should work completely. See? Cool. So now we can make it fail. Or basically just say, well, I really want to have the new commit. So we use SM2 and say the bin char is the SM2 modules head commit bin char. Yeah, this could be shorter, but I kind of like this chained call stuff that GitPython allows you to do. So here we go. And now we do the same thing again. And now we add the new submodule entry. SM2 should be 1. Added new. Or like this. I don't know. Is it past or present? For now, I go with present. And now the cool thing is that this should actually be, wait, this is that. So it's all basically the same thing now. So that is also equivalent. Let's add another one here, assert. So this one, yeah, it's actually the same thing. Commit submodule is this. Commit, let's call it commit SM. We kind of established that SM is submodule, so we can do it here. Commit SM, there we go. And this should be the same as my SM bin char, right? So now I updated this one and can say commit SM. Yeah. And last but not least, that should be equivalent. And now again, I can verify that this one is the same as the updated one, as m2, and as m2 bin sha is not equal, because that's different objects, is not equal to as m bin sha. But I can verify that, well, this is kind of, you know, I wanted to verify this, but that kind of is self-explanatory, that if you assign something, it will actually be that something. Cool, so if everything goes well, this will work. Okay, cool. So that totally does work, and we didn't change the code at all. It's really just like how to do it. I didn't know myself, really, so I guess we will just, well, answer the question on Stack Overflow, 45 minutes in. Giving the simple way and the GitPython way. So let's make it related to 335. So that's an improvement. Oh no, wait, that's tests submodule. Show how to add a new submodule commits. Add new submodule commits to parent. Well, like that. It's somewhat more complex to add new commits in submodules to the parent repository. The new test shows how to do that in a GitPythonic. Let's do it like that, in a GitPythonic way. Awesome. So yeah, that works. We have to test first the toxflake8 test. They're as flaky as you would think they are. Ugh. I hate this. Export. That's the one I always need, because UTF-8 is not a valid locale for him. And there we go. So says submodule 693. Messed it up. It's always white space. Oh, wait. What does it want? Multiple statements on one line. Fine. Fair enough. Okay, so that should be done. 703. Add these two spaces before inline comment. All right, there you go. Happy? Are you happy, Flake? Yeah? Yeah? Do you like me now? Flake likes me. It wasn't easy. Well, it actually was easy, but it's always annoying for some reason. But it's okay, you know? It's okay. I just have to live with that. I wished there would be something like that, or even some formatter for Rust as well, because I'm always struggling making it look beautiful. So, but that's a different topic, right? Rust shall not be discussed here at this point. But I guess we are done with that. So let's push it. And it should show up there because it's related. And I guess now we would be ready to answer the Stack Overflow question. And then we can close this issue. So, Stack Overflow, what do you say? There is a simple way to add new submodule commits to the parent repository, and a parent there seem to be two ways to do that. Yeah. There are more, right? But that's the one. Yeah, that's the one I will present here. There are two ways to add new submodule commits to the parent repository. One will use the git command directly. The other one will be a pure Python. Will be implemented in pure Python. So let's first answer the question and then maybe provide some background on why that is. So do I have, yeah, the simple. How do we do it? Examples given. So that's the one commit. Yeah, so that's the repos. All examples are based on the code presented in the question. So simple. And now I guess I have to go into a new file because I will have to indent this stuff. Like this. So it's repos, git, add, and then we have the submodule. Uh-oh, I think I broke GitPython. Yes, I did. Yeah, you have to run all tests, right? You have to run all tests, even though I only have added something that seemed to have worked. But anyway, I shall look at this later. First, this one. That's not relevant, really. Oh no, that's too big. Good, so let's do this. Actually, I wanted to look at the variable name here. So it's the submodule name, right? or we use the submodule path. I think that's a relative path as seen from the repository. So then we now add it, and now we can just commit it. Repos index commit updated submodule to given to wanted commit. Like this. Okay, and the other way is the new one. So after the checkout, we have to just update the submodule. Bin sha is submodule module head commit bin sha, where the commit point and where the head points to, and then you can edit index add submodule, and now you can commit it as usual. Okay, so that's this one. Oh no, actually the whole idea was to indent it once like that. Cool. That is that. The code above will invoke the git command as a separate process, git command, which is similar to doing a git add and then submodule path, whatever that is, right? And Pythonic version is this one, like so. And yeah, basically we can just explain why that is, and then we are good. The index file add implementation, I think it's also linked here, right? Yes, it is. Copy link address. The index file add. Does it work? Yes, it does. The index file add implementation adds whichever bin-char it finds in the submodule object. This one would be the one in the parent repository's current commit, and not the new commit that, or not the commit that was checked out in the submodule. One can see the submodule object as a singular, snapshot of the submodule, which does not change, which does not change, nor does it know about changes to the submodules repository. Okay. We have to, in this case, it seems easiest to just override the bin-char to the bin-char field of the submodule object to the desired one. Desired one to the desired one, and then basically just add what you want to add. Yes. In this case, it seems easiest to just override the bin-char field of the submodule object to the one that is actually checked out in its repository. That is that. And yeah, I think that would be it for now. Let's see. I am relatively happy. Let's read it one more time. So there are two ways to add new submodule commits to the parent repository. One will use the git command directly, the other one will be implemented in pure Python. All examples are based on the code presented in the question. Simple. Repos git add submodule path, and then you make the commit. The code above will invoke the git command, which is similar to doing a git add submodule path on the command line. That's something, or in a shell. In a shell. And then we do this. The index file add implementation adds whichever bin-char it finds in the submodule object. This one would be the one in the parent repository's current commit, and not the commit that was checked out in the submodule. One can see the submodule object as a singular snapshot of the submodule, which does not change, nor I'm not sure about the punctuation there, nor does it know about changes to the submodules repository. In this case, it seems easiest to just overwrite the bin char field of the submodule object to the one that is actually checked out in its repository. So adding it to the index will have the desired effect. That is that. Okay. Boom. Let's see how that goes. Is this, can I link to this particular answer somehow? Let's see. Okay, so that's the answer. Good. Cool. There now is a new test which shows how to do it in a Pythonic fashion. The Stack Overflow question, oops, was answered, showing the mentioned way and a slightly simpler one. Yeah, from that you will both ways show that a change in GitPython is not required, even though adding changed submodules to the index seems a bit more difficult or involved than one might hope. Also, I show that a change in GitPython is not required, even though adding changed submodules to the index seems a bit more difficult involved than one might hope. One might hope when using GitPython directly. Cool. So that is that. We are 1 hour in, and I think that should be enough. Thanks for watching and have a great day.